What's going on, guys? It's your boy Cash, and we are here today doing a lovely, well, not this, sorry. Well, we're going to do some of this later. We're going to be going into the lovely world that is Kayron. By popular demand, I asked you guys, who would you guys want to see a guide on? Kayron or Spectre Tenebria, and the crowd went wild. Ah! Kayron, Kayron, Kayron. They want Edge Daddy. They want the smooth groove. Look at him. He doesn't even hold his sword. It's magnetically floating a couple inches, which is almost the most pointless fucking thing I've ever seen when it comes to floating a sword. It makes sense when it's like Iseria and it's like around you, but it's just like right next to his hand. So also, I forgot to mention this, is that 80% of the people that watch my videos are not subbed to the channel. It's really funny to see that. It's so weird. If you guys are enjoying the content, feel free to hit that subscribe button and leave a like as well. It helps me out tremendously. You guys get updated when a video comes out, and on top of that, it helps me grow out my channel so more people can see these videos that you already like and enjoy. And you know, it's a win-win for both of us, really. So I hate to say it, but I realize that I don't say it and it gets me killed, is make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on the video. Now, what's really funny about Kayron is that when he first came out, I was actually confused by his little caster's lost health ability, and it was literally just because it had the same exact wording as Crow. So I spent so much time to say, oh, well, let me see if maybe it worked that way too. That you can actually make him really beefy and he would still do DPS, but then you know, all the eventual news came out and it was like, no, stupid, you still gotta build damage if you want him to do damage. Now let's just look at the stats, and this is where it all comes together, right? So as a thief, remember he is a fire thief, is you look at that attack, the health, and the, oh my god, 129 speed. Now let's use that lovely chart that I always like to go to and see exactly how fast that actually is. Alright, I'm here on the lovely page and I haven't pressed any buttons. I'm gonna press the speed and da-da-da-da. Look at that. My man done boosted it up to the first place slot because he is the fastest character in the game. So with him being the fastest character in the game, you know, you gotta think like, oh man, I'm going first. Because it's true. There's when he's built with some speed, probably way less investment of speed or care of speed, you can pretty much have him go first. Now when it comes down to the thieves, now we're sorting by attack. So as you can see here, Arbiter Vildred, Kisei, regular Vildred, these characters have amongst the highest attack of the thieves, and then he kind of comes all the way down here. Reason being is because of what I just showed you, is because he has the lost HP thing. So like he has a mechanic in which his damage kind of increases. So that's why Arbiter Vildred, like all these characters, it means nothing except Kisei. One of her moves is if it, you know, if she's stealthed, it will do some magical stuff, right? Then around here, as you can see, Karen has a mechanic, Kayron has a mechanic, Haste pretty much got deleted from the game. So when was the last time you see your boy Haste? I'm just saying, you probably forgot he was in the game. Anywho, let's look at his skills, and then once we get his skills, that's when everything kind of opens up. He's an older character. Oh, the ult.
There is no salvation for those who fall in battle.
Oh, you edgy lord, you. Now what's really cool about this character is because he has a mechanic in which we'll just go straight over to grant immortality for one turn when the caster receives lethal damage, and resets skill cooldown of Apocalypse, which is the S3 that we just saw. Can only be activated once every 9 turns, which is irrelevant because you'll only need to ever use it once, and if you use it more than that, there's something wrong. On the caster's turn, when buffed and using Void Slash, which is the S1, the skill will become an AoE attack and does not trigger dual attacks. Now the S3 that we saw here, the Apocalypse, is a beautiful, wonderful attack. As you can see, gives him an attack buff when he uses it, which is the whole shtick. You fast as heck, you use your S3, get yourself an attack buff, and then you get a S1 that does this. Cool.
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Cool. And then, as you can see, we haven't even looked at here. Attacked with a sword, with a 35% chance to decrease hit chance for 1 turn, and the damage is proportional to the caster's lost HP. Now, you can see that his S3 also has the same thing, damage dealt to caster's lost HP, because the whole gimmick, you get killed, you get the cooldown back of your apocalypse. It does more damage now because you already had used it on the first turn. You know, you got your attack boost, now you got killed, now you can S3 again, and we have this lovely, when the enemy is defeated, extends any buffs granted to the caster by 1 turn, and that is supposed to be your lovely immortality and your attack buff. Now you have an extra turn and you're just doing free damage pretty much. That's kind of how he's supposed to work, you know. And this is the S1 when you don't have a buff. Still pretty swaggy, pretty swaggy of a guy. He's not complicated. Pretty much you S3, then you S1 into your life's content, and then when you die for the first time, you S3 again, and then you S1, and you know, just repeat the cycle. Say it with me, kids. Like, I feel like it's Dora the Explorer. S3, S1, die, and S3 again. Say it with me. So that's what it comes down to. But I have to add a little bit of spice and flavor, because today in 2020 there's a different version of Kayron, because he now has exclusive equipment. Kind of wish you can see it from this screen, but you know, why would they do that? We go over here, he's the only thief that actually has any of these, and we can actually look at this. So we have the first one is Void Slash. Damage dealt is increased by 10% when using Void Slash. That just adds more spice to it. You can also see that you get crit chance. Obviously you would kind of want to reroll, make sure you get that 12%. But the really important one is not even the second one. The Apocalypse. Damage dealt is increased by 10% when using Apocalypse. The utility that has is, you're gonna, like I said, you're gonna S3 when you first start off the match, and you want that to do damage, but more importantly, you want that second S3. You want to make sure that kills. But I would say that that's more of a gear issue, boo-boo. If your Apocalypse, your second Apocalypse is not killing, that means that you need to go back to that Wyvern real quick, buddy. But what's more important here, and pretty much the only one that makes him, in my opinion, a brand new character, is inflict silence for 1 turn when using Apocalypse. And there's no chance there, and if I have to say it again and again and again, when something says that there is no chance for it to happen, that means specifically that there's only 1 check that goes on, not 2, just 1, and that is going to be your effectiveness for effect resistance, and that's it. There's no chance for it to happen, so if you get past that effect resistance check, guess what? That character's getting silenced. Why is that so important? I don't know, Bizarre. Why would you think it's important that Kayron can silence a character on his first turn when you only have 108 speed and he has 129? Oh, you don't know? You don't have any idea? Especially when he's fire and very likely to be able to silence you? Maybe Auxiliary Lots knows. Hold on, let me awaken him real quick. 112. Impressive, but definitely not 129 based on how I went to math class. So maybe he knows why it would be important that he can't do that? I don't know. Maybe. Hold on, let me ask one more character. Would you have any idea? I know that a lot of people are concerned about you like buffing the team and giving them the Umbra. Would you have any idea why Kayron being able to silence on the first turn would that mean anything to you? I don't know. Yo, you don't know either? Yeah. Now the joke may be crappy, but that's just the issue, is that he pretty much is so fast that if there's any issue that you have as far as a character going first, or they're gonna build them with speed, you can build your Kayron with some speed as well and silence them right in the beginning, because effectiveness is not that bad on him. Now the S3 doesn't have a debuff until you actually put the silence on it, but the S1 does have decreased hit chance, and if you guys don't know how stupid that debuff is, I mean, it's pretty dumb. The fact that characters can miss, and if they miss, it saves you from actually getting hit with a debuff, which is very strong. It helps you against elemental disadvantaged characters like Charles that might be on the other team, that's like posture, and you know, who are we kidding, he's still gonna crit you and then smash you and then kill you because it's Charles. But building him with some speed and effectiveness is pretty good. It's not like it's a waste of your time, especially if you're going for the silence and if you're trying to silence a character. And to be honest, you might not even need to go effectiveness, because the amount of damage this boy done put out there, he could probably just kill Bazaar with the first S3 and he's just gone. That is actually a very probable thing. Now this is my A-Lot. He has my fastest gear because I'm doing the same cleave strat that everyone else is doing, you know. So he has my fastest gear plus 113. Keep in mind that the speed gear itself goes by a percentage of the speed, so the higher the base speed that you have, the more of speed the speed set is going to give you. So you can make Kayron pretty fast, but the issue, and that's where, you know, the gear perfectionist in you might come out, is that you want him to be fast, you also want him to have effectiveness, you want him to have crit so he crits, you also want him to have attack, and you also want him to have crit damage, so when he does crit, he does a lot of damage. Like, this is the classic DPS struggle that you're always gonna have to deal with. So in that respect, good luck when it comes down to gearing him. I feel like you should focus him on either one or two things. Very fast and going to still kind of take out a character, or you can still build him where it's like, I'm decently fast, but I will kill anything with my S3 when I get the revive one. It will be stronger because I've lost health, and you know, there's that. So that's the kind of the option you're going with. You can very well not go on speed, but I find that is very risky. You're at the mercy of your opponent on their RNG, their unbuffables landing on you. Guess what? If you are hit by the unbuffable, you won't get your immortality buff and you won't get your attack buff when you S3. Pretty much, yes, you won't die that first hit, but the second hit follow-up will kill you. So that, you got to keep that in mind. Now, cool things that I do want to mention. One thing is going to be the immunity set. I don't think that the immunity set was out when Kayron was out, but now you can actually start off with the immunity set. So instead of going for the S3 silence right off the bat, you can now go for a S1 AoE pretty much cleave, and you know, it's pretty cool that he can do that. Also, by protecting himself from any debuffs and any like stuns or defense breaks that are people trying to put out in the first turn, he'll be fine with that, survive, and S1 his life away. And that's a pretty cool way for him to do that. Fallen Cecilia is another cool character that was obviously not out when he first came out, but what's cool about this character obviously is that, one, you start off the battle with a barrier, which is really cool, so that obviously gives him a free buff, so his S1 can have all types of fun that he wants. But more importantly is that if you're reading here, grants a barrier for 2 turns to the ally with the lowest health at the end of the caster's turn. Barrier strength increases proportional to the caster's max HP, which is not the biggest thing in the world, but when Fallen CC ends her turn, she will give a barrier pretty much to Kayron. That's kind of the thought process behind it. So you see them together a lot actually, and it gives him a guaranteed barrier, and he can S1 AoE and cleave. One of the most infamous combos when it first came out was Mascot Hazel, who can give a fire ally, Kayron, increase attack greater, and that was just ridiculous. That was pretty much instant wipe if you let someone get that out on you. It's ridiculous. Only problem is that obviously she's a little bit on the slow side at 91 even when she's awakened, so she's pretty slow. Speaking of which, I didn't mention the lifesteal set. That was kind of something that other people were going, and back in the day, I don't think you're gonna see it on him nowadays, but it was a little cutie thing, like, oh, he'll get really low and then he'll lifesteal himself right back, and you know, he'll have this weird little balance. The issue I think that most people found is that he wasn't lifestealing enough to warrant, you know, taking this and, let's say for example, not getting more crit damage, or not going with the attack set and not getting more attack or speed. He was losing out on very good stats from a 4-piece set to lifesteal, and he wasn't healing enough. So that's why you don't see him on lifesteal pretty much anymore. Alright, now we are here in the lovely artifacts. Now let me just go with the one that I think a lot of people are thinking about. One of the ones that a lot of people are thinking about. Alexa's basket is obviously phenomenal. It's probably the best option for him, because on the fact is that he has a decent chance, especially if it's max out, if the whale in you is strong enough, that a 40% chance to get either one of the buffs. It doesn't matter which one, they're both great. If you get attack greater, then fantastic. If you get crit chance, fantastic. You know, and it has a chance to trigger every time you get a turn. You're a fast character, it has a lot of chances to proc, and if it ever procs, it's pretty much something's gonna die. All-time classic favorite, Dust Devil, which is pretty cool, you know, because since his S1 is his single attack, or his his basic attack, and if they survive, he will just do it again, so it applies a lot of damage. A little bit better than RNL because the chance is higher. This is 30% when it's max. It's 4-star, so it's easier to get. RNL is only 20. you do get an extra turn with RNL. You kind of like him to kind of sit with his buffs. You don't need him to take extra turn and then wear his buffs down. So, you know, it's a little bit better with Dust Devil, because what's really cool about Dust Devil is that if you were to even build him on counter, which is a really weird thing to do, people definitely did it because he has immortality. He can technically take a bunch of hits and then just keep he can counterattack you and then Dust Devil, which is nuts. But also when he dual attacks, he can Dust Devil on the dual attack, and then when his turn comes up, he can Dust Devil on it. Only when he's S1, obviously, sorry. If I didn't specify that, but it's still pretty cool. Really cool interaction with Kayron and Dust Devil. Moonlight Dream Blade, another really good option here, because every time he evades, it helps him with evasion as well. He will give himself an attack buff. As you already know, any way that this guy can give himself a buff without needing his teammates to do it for him is a plus. But that's pretty much Kayron. Let me know what you guys think. If there's any other tips and tricks that I might have missed, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Alright, that's all I have to say about the boy Kayron. So hope you guys enjoyed about that. I'll do Spectre Tenebria next, but if you guys want to leave suggestions for a character after that, or maybe even before Tenebria, feel free to leave it there, because pretty much the only reason why we're doing videos pretty much every day is because of this stupid 10 summon. So let's see what we get. Hopefully we get something good. All yellow and purple sparks are allowed. Not looking too good though. Not looking good. Are we getting an all dead day? There goes Gerardo. That's nice to get a Moonlight character, I feel, in these dark times. Ooh. Today was fodder day. Okay. Also, today is fodder day. Okay, 4-star artifact. And it's still fodder day. That's some good dust right there. So that's gonna be it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed. And just remember that every day at the casino is your lucky day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.